Today is a day I've been looking forward to for a very long time. We finally get to spray insulation in the cargo trailer conversion. I want to thank sprayfoamkit.com who sent us their 602 kit, which is a two-part closed cell spray foam insulation with an R value of 7 per inch. And I am looking forward, I don't know about you, to seeing how this kit works together. It's kind of like the cans of insulation that you can like fill cracks and stuff with, except it's in like two huge 20-pound tubs and you mix them together in a gun and spray it on the wall. I'm so excited to get started. Let's open up the boxes and see what we've got. The last thing I need to do is just put some plastic bags over these outlets. Because I am retrofitting, I already have things pre-wired. And unbox, see what we got here. Sweet. Some goggles. The directions say, I don't know if you can see this little thermometer, you want the can or the bottle to be in the green. And we are in the green. Even more nozzles. We got gloves. Here's the business end of it. All instructions. So the basic gist is you got 2 tanks of foam, an A and a B part, which you hook up to the hoses. Once you get hooked up to the tank, put a little petroleum jelly, which they include, and then you slide in the nozzle. And it says to do the sealing first, because the pressure is the highest at the beginning of the tank, and not to use one of the little fan tips. I'm not sure why they don't recommend that, but we'll follow the instructions. Tip. Nozzle. Pops right in. Nice. We'll let that sit, and since I'm going to be more than 30 seconds, we're going to pull off the tip. Let's give it a touch. Let's see what we got. Oh yeah, it's dry to the touch and it's warm. I think we did it. I think we're ready to spray. All right, I'm going to do the sealing first, and I don't think I want this spraying all over the camera, so I'm going to go ahead and spray the sealing and get the hang of it, and then we'll bring you in for the walls. Turned out great. It dries very quickly, which is nice. So you're not like a sticky mess, you're more like a crunchy mess. Wow, that goes really, really fast. I'm super happy with how that came out. It's kind of like painting. You know, 95% of my time was spent prep, and then I've probably sprayed this whole thing in, I don't know, it's probably been 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes. All right, I'm going to do another coat on the ceiling, so I'm going to take the camera out, and I'll bring you back in when I finish up. Managed to get everything I wanted to get done with that kit. It was just about perfect. And I have just a little bit left over I'm going to use and just take the nozzle up and try and fill some gaps like that up there. The other thing I need to do is just come by with a little putty knife and just scrape off all that. Well, that about wraps it up for me. I'll show you the final finished product once I get everything scraped. But if you're interested in doing something like this yourself, you can visit sprayfoamkit.com, and they're the people who sent it out to us, and I mean, the results speak for themselves. It's amazing. Oh, I'm excited. Things are coming along. So I set up a little experiment in the trailer with some thermometers and a Raspberry Pi to see how the spray foam is performing compared to styrofoam, which is what I have the back insulated with. I've got my generator powering the TV. I got my results, and real quickly I'm trying to paste them in to the spreadsheet so that at the very least we save what we've got so far. I basically hacked this thing together in every sense of the word, both hardware and software-wise. Hardware-wise, I literally just kind of soldered the 3 sensors into the Raspberry Pi, and I didn't even have the pins, so I just soldered directly to the pins, which is not great. Obviously, they're just kind of hanging in here. Then I just have my battery coming to a cigarette adapter that I then soldered in the leads, and then that goes to the USB on my Raspberry Pi. And then software-wise, this is kind of a mashup of 3 different tutorials online to get it to do what I wanted it to do, so I'm sure this is just a horrendous program. And it's even so bad, I couldn't figure out how to print to a database, a local database, so I ended up just running the program within Python and copy and pasting my results. But it worked for me, it got the results. Let's go home and analyze them and see what we got. Alright, the results are here, and it's exactly what I expected, actually. So I've got 3 sensors. The first was the outside, the second was the spray foam, and the third was the styrofoam. So I'm kind of in a unique position because I have a big metal box divided exactly in half, the front half with spray foam and the back with styrofoam. So I did a little calculation here on the right side to show you the difference, and it looks like throughout the day there was about a 1 to 2 degree difference. It got as high as 4 during the peak sunlight right around 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And if you chart this on a graph, it's exactly what you would expect. So the red is the spray foam temperature, orange is styrofoam, and blue is outside. So I installed this at about 6 p.m. So we start by going into the cooler temperatures of the night, and you can see that the spray foam kept it 1 to 2 degrees warmer than the styrofoam half. And then sunrise, quickly beating down on that sensor, spiked the temperature all the way up to 87 degrees almost. You can see spray foam and styrofoam both do really well, kind of evening out that spike in temperature. The spray foam just does a little bit better, so for cooler temperatures it keeps it a little warmer, and as soon as it gets hot out you can see they cross over and the spray foam keeps it a little cooler. So I'm happy with the results, not because, even if they performed exactly the same, I was more interested in spray foam personally because of the waterproofing, the vapor barrier, and the anti-mold properties of it. So in a trailer, the number one problem that you're going to have is mold and leaks. And so because I was able to spray this foam into all the nooks and crannies, A, I know I'll have a slimmer chance of leaks, and second, there's not going to be a gap of air where condensation can grow and grow mold behind the insulation. So that's why I decided on spray foam, and the fact that it performs a little bit better is icing on the cake in my opinion. So hope you guys enjoyed that. We will see you in the next video. It's also not a perfectly fair test because I have 2 huge spots here in the middle that were completely uninsulated. So this is literally just, I think 18 gauge or 16 gauge steel separating outside air from inside, and I didn't insulate the area where the shower pan is going. So considering all that, I think the spray foam did a pretty good job, if I do say so myself.